How y'all doing? Welcome back to the Fuel Yourself audio cast. I'm your host, Shawana Mays, certified holistic life and wellness coach who helps women stop the habit of chronic quitting. And I teach them how to build the skill of unstoppable follow through with any goal, no matter what's happening in their life. All right. Now, I shared in part one of this audio cast last week 3 words that shaped my life. And those words were no matter what. Last week, I talked in some way about how deeply those 3 words have impacted my life and how they have carried me through some of the most challenging times in my life while in the midst of walking through the process of reaching my goals and not quitting on myself. These 3 words, they really seem so simple, but they sparked an activation switch in my brain and in my body. So if you want to hear more about how that happened to me, please go back and listen to episode 31, which is part one of what I'm about to share here. Okay, so there are 3 circumstances that were very heavy for me and happened in my life years after I started my health and fitness journey: the end of marriage number 2, the decision to file bankruptcy in 2016, and the experience of year 2020. Now, I wanted to speak about my health and fitness journey because it was the catalyst to me building the skill of following through and not quitting on my goals, no matter what was happening in my life. It actually showed me how I already had the ability to follow through within me. It made me become highly aware of that ability. I stayed committed to my health and fitness journey because of the unconditional commitment that I had to constantly wanting to create my feelings of feel good no matter what. So trust. You'll probably hear these 3 words a lot throughout this episode. Because listen, it's like my foundation. It's what my life of consistency has been built upon. So even as you listen to this episode, maybe you'll find your words or your activity that will help you realize your own ability to follow through. So you can stop being an obstacle to yourself and you can experience seeing what you're made of. So I'll go ahead and dive into the first circumstance, which was the ending of my marriage number 2. I truly believe that this marriage was it for me, that I was going to ride it out for the rest of my life with this one, right? Because, I mean, come on, it was marriage number 2. So surely I had learned some things from marriage number 1. But marriage number 2 officially ended after about 5 years. I walked away and decided that I was going to make my new life happen no matter what. So the ending of any relationship is hard, and there's a lot that comes with that. And to add on top of that, it was now just officially me and my baby girl here in Louisville, Kentucky, without any family. Now, I was summoned to move back home by my family, but I refused. So things were a bit heavy because I was in the midst of figuring out life on all ends, especially financially. I moved into a 1 bedroom apartment with me and my daughter, who was about, I think, 12 at that time. And then I picked up a part time job right alongside my full time job and ran a health and fitness network marketing business. And in the midst of all that, I just decided that my personal health and fitness journey was still a priority, no matter what was happening in my life. So that journey continued. The second circumstance was my decision to file bankruptcy. At the time I left marriage number 2, I still had a home back in Columbus, Ohio, that I was desperately trying to manage financially. I could not keep up. I mean, I was drowning, feeling the financial pressures of living in Louisville as a single parent again and leasing out my house back home that I just could not keep up with. I did not have the financial capacity to keep up with repairs and little odds and ends as a leaser. I made a decision to file bankruptcy and release myself from the massive debt that I had been building since I had left Louisville 5 years prior to 2016. I cried so heavily with that decision because I thought about how other people would view me and the friendship that I ultimately lost with a good friend back home because of the bankruptcy decision. It was either take care of myself and my daughter or stay in massive financial debt with a house with multiple maxed out credit cards and hold on to a very close friendship because my very close friend at the time was actually leasing out my house that I was ready to give up. I chose myself and my daughter. I had so many heavy negative emotions going on. I mean, it really cut deep. Yet my health and fitness journey continued no matter what. The third circumstance was the experience of the year 2020. Now, we all got hit with that one. No one was exempt. And of course, everyone experienced it differently. So by now, I was already 6 years into a consistent habit of being on my health and fitness journey, no matter what. But I can tell you, I experienced heavy emotions with the rest of the world, especially with the people in the Black community. It felt like it was like one heavy thing after another, which is often the case in our world. But 2020 just landed differently. So much so that it also had an impact on my current relationship. It was a wild ride to also be in a long distance relationship and navigate through all the BS. But we did it. But here is where my no matter what came in. Although 2020 was a beast, I understood more and more how to navigate through the hard, sit with the uncomfortable emotions, and still continue with my journey. No overeating, no over drinking, no overspending, just waking up every day and deciding that I still have the ability to control the things that I could control. And I was just going to do just that. Healthy food options were not taken away from me. The ability to grocery shop may have been weird, but I could still make purchasing healthy choices happen. Also, my fitness was still easily accessible. All I had to do was press play on my on demand fitness program in my home and just do the work. Even if I had to cry my way through it sometimes, it was still available to me. And I made that happen no matter what. Now, with me sharing those challenges, I hope you can understand that I am not exempt. I would love to be, but I'm living a human experience just as much as you are. So, in this 2026 season of my life, the same rules, or should I say three words, still apply. There are going to be challenges and obstacles that come up. There are going to be my thoughts and my feelings about those challenges and obstacles. And then there will be me deciding what I want to make those challenges and obstacles mean, because I get to define that. And because I am highly aware that I get to define that, I will always turn challenges and obstacles into something that fuels me to keep going, no matter what the goal is. Yes, this is most definitely a practice. This is a skill that we all have the ability to build. So, what I always think about is there are plenty of people in the world who quit on themselves when challenges and obstacles come up in their lives. I don't want to be in that number anymore. I've been there, but I haven't been there for a very long time. I want to continue to be the one who doesn't quit, even when things get uncomfortable, because I want to see how far I can take my life. It's my own personal desire. And I am here to help you find yours so that you become the person who naturally follows through no matter what. Now, if this episode spoke to you, I will always invite you to go deeper with this work with me, especially if this is something that you currently struggle with and you no longer want to struggle with it. So let's get on a consultation together and see what's holding you back from creating your outcomes. And then we can also see if we'd be a good fit to work together long term. So you can book a free life and wellness consultation with me through my website at www.royalrenewal.info. And for now, of course, I'm wishing you a whole lot of peace, a whole lot of ease, and a whole lot of love. And I will see you on the next episode. Peace.